The reason for pain, misery, sorrows in our life is due to our birth. The reason for our birth is due to karmas. The reason for karmas, both pious as well as impious, that is sinful karmas, is doshas. I will explain to you shortly why I say the word pious also. I will explain to you. The reason for both pious and sinful karmas is due to doshas. The reason for doshas or shortcomings is due to mithya jnana. Jnana means Vedas. Mithya jnana means opposite to Vedas, which is illusion or ignorance. What a beautiful sentence. And also this sentence is the reason for pain. I started the sentence with. So absence of pain is called as moksha. Absence of suffering is moksha. Absence of sorrow is moksha. So this in one statement, from pain, sufferings to moksha, has been very clearly defined by Maharishi Gautam in Nyaya Shastra, basically 1/2. So he says, Dukkha janma pravritti dosha mitya jnana muttaro tara apaye tadanantara apayadapavargaha. Tadanantara means crossing over this, apavargaha means moksha. Crossing over what? Crossing over this mithya dhyana, from dukh to mithya dhyana. When we cross over it or when we overcome it, we achieve moksha basically. So when we go the reverse direction, mithya dhyana, when we overcome mithya jnana, that means when we get the knowledge of Vedas, we will not have any dosha, or we will not do those rag, dvesh, attachment, etc., vidya, etc. And when we do not have dosh in us, then we will not get into the trap of karma. When we do not get into the trap of karma, we will never get further birth. And when there is no birth, there is no pain, there is no suffering, there is no sorrow. And then when in the absence of pain, sorrow, suffering, we get moksha, enlightenment. So this is a very, very strong fundamental Vedic philosophy, beautifully explained by Maharishi Gautam in Nyaya Shastra. So I'll try to explain to you. Dukh, everybody knows we are having dukh. Everyone has pain, everyone has got sufferings, everyone has got their own sorrows, be it Ambani or Tata or Birla, or be it a poor person. Everybody has got their own complaints. Some people have got so much money, but they are not able to even eat one meal properly. They are not able to even sleep one night properly. There are people who are so poor, they are able to eat only once a day. They are also suffering. So everybody is suffering in this world. That means the reason for suffering is existence of our body. That means we suffering through our body. So that means our birth happens, definitely suffering will come, pain will come, misery will come. This is what Rishi is trying to say. And then the reason for our birth is our own karmas. In karma, there are two karmas. The third karma I'll explain to you also. There are two karmas. One is pious deeds, other one is sinful deeds. And pious deeds means those deeds which are not Vedic, but they are pious. You can question or you can ask me, how come you are saying a pious deed but it's not Vedic? The term Vedic I use when there is Almighty God's Acharya's blessings in that, then it is a Vedic pious deed. Otherwise it's just a pious deed. For example, today's hot topic, Save the Soil movement. It's a really good movement by Jaggi Vasudev, that when we try to save the soil for future generations, then people will get good food across so many years. And then when we improve the soil quality, it is good for years and years to come, for many generations. Really pious thought. Is it Vedic pious thought or not? That's what we have to understand. It's a pious thought. It's not a Vedic pious thought. Why? Because there is no presence of Almighty God in that thought. What do I mean by presence of Almighty God? For example, I have a thought. Before executing the thought, I go to an Acharya of Vedas. I do yajna. I remember Almighty God. I say Idan Namama. I put ahutis, and then I take the blessings of Almighty God, because Almighty God blesses through an Acharya, because Almighty God is inside the Acharya. Almighty God is omnipresent, but He manifests only inside the Acharya. So whenever I do a pious deed, before that I take the blessings of Almighty God through Acharya, then it becomes a Vedic pious deed. And also, in this kind of, let's say, I just took an example of the save the soil. People might say that, Jaggi Vasudev, many people say Jaggi Vasudev is Bhagavan. No. He is a good leader. He is a normal human being, but he is not an Acharya of Vedas. We have to bring Almighty God into our pious deed. Otherwise, we will get the result of our pious deed. What result we will get? When I do pious deed, I will get very good happiness. I may get a birth in the next Janma. When I do pious deed, I may get a birth in Ambani's house, Tata's house, Birla's house. I am very rich, born very rich. I am born with a silver spoon, golden spoon, diamond spoon. But that is the result of pious deed. But Almighty God says in Vedas, Kuruvanni Veha Karmani, Vedic pious deeds. When you do Vedic pious deeds, when you do your life as per Vedas, that means in each and every activity of your life, you are taking blessings of Almighty God. You are worshipping daily Stuti, Prarthana, Upasana, daily Ahutis, daily Gayatri Jap, daily Om Jap, daily Ashtanga Yoga practice, vegetarian food as told by Almighty God. When you are doing Vedic pious deeds, na karma lipyate nare, you will not get into the trap of the karma. That means for Vedic pious deeds, God will not give you a birth to enjoy the result. God will give you moksha. This is the fundamental concept of Vedas which we will never understand because we lack Acharya of Vedas in our life. So pious deeds also will get us into trap of birth and death. The other one is sinful deeds. Those deeds anyway will get us into trap of birth and death. That means people who are doing criminal activities, people who are doing not giving respect to parents, not serving Acharya, insulting Vedas, insulting Almighty God. These are sinful activities. And one more most common sin we are doing, 99% of us we are doing is worshipping the wrong Almighty God, self-created Almighty God. Ram is God, Krishna is God, Lord Shiva is God, Jesus is God, Allah is God. These are created gods by human beings. Whereas God says, I am God. I have described myself only in the Vedas, and Vedas are not books. Vedas are to be understood from an Acharya who has attained me, who has attained Samadhi, who has realized Vedas in Samadhi. So we are leaving the true God and we are worshipping some other God. It's a sin. So we will get into the trap of birth and death. And when we get into trap of birth and death, we will get pains, sorrow, misery, all those things. So from karma, then again we have to understand why we are doing karmas. We are doing karmas due to dosh, rag, dvesh, attachment, avidya. I've explained so many videos. I've explained avidya also, and also rag, dvesh. We are when somebody is not when somebody has insulted me and somebody has behaved badly with me, the moment I saw him or her, I get hatredness within myself. That is called as dvesh bhav. Rag is when I am enjoying something, again and again my sense organs my mind is pulling me or pushing me to enjoy that again and again. For example, I eat a sweet. Every day I get the feeling that I should eat that sweet. This is just an example. For example, in people are involved in sensual activities. They are unable to control because of that is called as rag. So rag, dvesh, and then attachment. Everyone is attached in some or other thing. There is no person in this world who is not attached to anything except a yogi, because Almighty God says in Yajurveda last chapter that only a yogi does not have an attachment. Tatra ko moha, that person does not have any attachment. He is outside attachment because he has realized Almighty God after intense Ashtanga Yoga Tapasya. So how do we get into yogi stage? At least my Acharya always says, Icchanti Deva Sunuvantam. If Deva are the people who are having desire of Almighty God, they are attached to Almighty God. At least if you are unable to come out of attachment, attach yourself to the feet of Acharya, attach yourself to the Almighty God, attach yourself to the Rishi Munis, attach yourself to the Vedic moral deeds, Vedic deeds, pious thoughts. Do not get attached to vehicle, motorbike, car, mobile phone, this, that, family. You have to do your Vedic moral deeds, otherwise you will get into trap. Somebody is dead, we are gone. Some mobile phone is broken, our life is gone. Bike is accident, we are getting into fight. Because we have so much attachment to our property. Is it very easy to get out of attachment? It is very, very difficult. It needs daily sadhana, daily worship of Almighty God. That is why Rishi says to come out of attachment, to come out of rag, dvesh, to come out of avidya, you have to overcome mithya jnana. You have to understand proper knowledge. Jnana means Vedas. Mithya jnana means ignorance. You are ignorant, that's why you are doing these activities. When you are having knowledge of Vedas, you will never get into this trap. That means you have to understand where I get the knowledge of Vedas. We get the knowledge of Vedas only from an Acharya of Vedas. Books cannot give us Vedic knowledge because Vedas are not books. So the root is again Maharishi Gautam says, knowledge is the root. When you have the right knowledge, you will do the right karma. When you do the right karma, that karma will be Vedic karma. And when the karma is Vedic karma, you will not get into birth and death. And once you don't have birth and death, you are out of pain and you are into moksha. This is the process to attain moksha. This is one dimension. There are 6 dimensions mentioned in 6 darshanas. And in this, because for example, Kapil Muni says about 3 vidhi dukkha. There are 3 dukh. Overcoming 3 dukh is moksha. Here also, Nyaya Darshan says about dukh. So Nyaya Darshan speaks about only dukh as general, but inside the dukh there are 3 dukh. One dukh is happening because people are there, suddenly earthquake come, suddenly floods are coming. This is also a dukh. How do I stop earthquake? By doing Vedic Upasana. In the olden days, if you read Upanishad, there was not even a single instance in Upanishad or Ramayana or Mahabharata mentioning about earthquake, mentioning about volcanic eruption, people dying, or mentioning about epidemic diseases, lakhs and lakhs of people are dying. No, because of the blessings of Almighty God through everyday worship. So we have to overcome dukh by proper knowledge. That's the root. The proper knowledge is only there in the Vedas. Then only we will enter into the stage of apavargaha, moksha. Otherwise impossible to attain moksha. At least what we should do as a common person is we should try to get more and more Vedic knowledge and start every day Almighty God's worship as mentioned in the Vedas. And whenever we do pious actions, pious deeds, we should bring Almighty God into that. How do you bring Almighty God? By everyday worship, by taking blessings of Acharya, by searching for an Acharya. Do we have a real Acharya who can bless me, who can teach me Vedas, who is selfless, who does not take money to run a business, who is living his life simply and treating everyone equal? Do we have an Acharya? If we have an Acharya, we should give our full to him and we should take knowledge from him. Then only we can go into the moksha path. But this is not this sutra does not speak about one janma. The process will take several thousand janmas, but it's okay. When we start, Almighty God will take care that in the further births we are improving slowly, and at one point of time we will enter moksha. This has to be clearly understood. I hope you got some knowledge from this video. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.